Look, we all make hundreds of little decisions every single day. But what about the big ones? The ones that can feel, well, totally paralyzing. Today, we're going to look at a framework designed to turn that anxiety into a clear, reliable process you can actually trust.
You know that feeling, right? That moment you're just stuck. It doesn't matter if it's a huge career move or just figuring out what to have for dinner. We've all been there. So we're going to talk about how to move past that paralysis for good.
Because here's the thing, making good decisions isn't some kind of magic talent you're born with. Nope, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned. There's a structured way to do it that can take a lot of the guesswork and stress out of the whole thing.
And it all really boils down to just one number: 5. That's it. 5 core principles that are basically the bedrock of clear, decisive thinking.
So let's dive in. We're talking about what the source material calls the 5 pillars of decisive thought. The best way to think about it is like a step-by-step guide to confidently handle any choice that comes your way.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll break the problem down into smaller pieces. Then we'll look at all our options and figure out how to weigh them. After that, we'll think about the future impact. And finally, we'll talk about why dedicated time is so crucial.
All right, let's jump right into our first pillar, deconstruct. This is all about taking something that feels overwhelming and making it totally manageable. Think about it. Why do big decisions feel so paralyzing? It's usually because we try to solve the entire thing all at once. The real key here is to stop seeing it as one giant, scary monolith and start seeing it for what it is, a collection of smaller, much more approachable questions.
This is where you put on your detective hat. You got to ask the right questions. What are the actual pieces here? Is it about money, location, your relationships, time? And what's really driving this whole thing? Is it a new opportunity you're excited about, or are you just trying to fix a problem? Just by naming the parts, the whole thing becomes way less intimidating.
Okay, next up, we're going to tackle pillars 2 and 3 together. And that's because they really are two sides of the same coin. It's all about first identifying your alternatives and then analyzing them in a really systematic way.
Now, the goal here is not about finding the perfect answer right away. It's about exploring every possibility. Just get every single option out on the table, no judgment. And you have to remember this crucial point. Choosing to do nothing is absolutely an active decision. Our brains want to tell us it's the safe choice, but it often has hidden costs, like missed chances or a problem that just gets worse. You have to evaluate it just as seriously as any other option.
So, once you have all your options laid out, it's analysis time. And yeah, a simple pros and cons list is a good start, but a table like this really forces you to think deeper. For every single alternative, let's say it's accepting a new job, you don't just list the good and the bad, you ask the tougher questions. How does this actually align with my 5-year plan? What are the hidden risks or costs, like a longer commute? This is how you get past gut feelings and start being really systematic.
This brings us right to pillar number 4, which is all about playing chess, not checkers. It's about future-proofing your decision by really thinking through its true impact over time.
You know, our brains are kind of wired for right now. We naturally give way too much weight to the short-term impact of a choice. But making truly great decisions means you have to consciously fight that instinct. You literally have to ask yourself, okay, how will this feel in a week? And then, how will this feel in a year? What about 5 years from now? It's a simple exercise, but it can totally reframe which option is actually the best one. And now for our final pillar. And honestly, this one might be the most overlooked of them all. It's about creating the mental space to actually think by blocking out dedicated time.
We are all so guilty of this, right? Trying to solve a complex life decision or a major business problem in those 5-minute gaps between meetings, or while you're scrolling through your phone. That kind of fragmented thinking just doesn't work. It leads to shallow, reactive choices, not the thoughtful, proactive ones we want to make.
So what's the solution? It's pretty simple, but it does take discipline. You have to treat an important decision with the respect it deserves. That means actually blocking off a real chunk of time in your calendar, turning off your notifications, and giving it your full, undivided attention. That's where the real breakthroughs happen.
This quote from the source material really just says it all. You can expect a high-quality outcome from a low-quality process. It's that simple. Making a great decision is a form of deep work, and deep work requires focus. So there you have it, the 5 pillars that create a solid foundation for decisive thought. Deconstruct the problem, identify and analyze your alternatives, forecast the impact, and give it focused time. The only question left is, what big decision are you going to build on this foundation?